Hello, we are still eligible, and we are headed to Penn State this weekend. Michigan comes to town. Pat is excited. I'm excited to cheer on the Nittany Lions and wear some white. This podcast is 10 minutes later than it could have been. We're starting a little bit late. We'll get into that in a second. We are. Patrick?
I mean, I just assumed there was a camera problem, and I guess I failed to actually look up and realize that you were wearing the Harbaugh sweatshirt that you
I made special for this weekend.
Oh yeah, we have a T-shirt, right?
I have a T-shirt.
That's why. That's okay. That's also part of my confusion here, but now I get it.
It's going to be cold.
Yeah,
or colder than we've been thus far this season.
People are gonna give us some looks when we're together now, because
I'm wearing this,
yeah,
and you'll be wearing Michigan stuff.
Yeah,
I picked it up from the store Monday during lunch, and the guy's like, "This is awesome." You know, I was like, "Yeah, if you only knew the backstory." He's like, "This is one of the funnier things we've ever made." And I was like, "Okay, thank you. I'm gonna need that, and I'm gonna need to go." But yes, I'm wearing the Harbaugh shirtless picture. It just looks great for the whiteout. Yeah, I sat there for 10 minutes waiting on you to look up, and you finally did. And then when you did, you didn't realize that
no,
I was wearing the sweatshirt. You go, "Is there a camera problem?" I was like, "You notice anything different about me?" And then here we are. So
I love pranks.
Nothing like a joke that takes almost 11 minutes to land, but
yeah,
we made it happen.
Yeah. I'm going to be thrilled when we get stuck in rush hour traffic now, and as a result of the prank.
Nobody to blame but yourself.
Well, we were going to get stuck in traffic regardless, but it's Dallas. There's always traffic.
If we get through this, we might be able to get a 15-minute head start on it.
There you go.
Penn State, we're headed to town. Somewhere I've never been. Have you been?
I think I went for lacrosse once, but never for a football game.
I've never been. You've been for lacrosse.
Possibly.
Possibly. I think I was my first year at Ohio State. We were at Penn State, and I did not have enough tenure to go there, so I did not go. And then last year, COVID happened, and they only took a few people, and obviously I did not make that list either. So I've never been either. That being said, I'm excited for the game. I think Penn State's going to come out loud and proud, as they do. It's a stripe out, which is majority white, and there is a blue, navy, I don't know the correct terminology of that blue, down the middle, but I think it runs instead of lengthways, widthways of the stadium, if you will. So mainly a whiteout, I guess. I would be pissed if I was in the blue.
Yeah.
Or maybe you feel better. Maybe that's where the donors sit.
I don't know. I guess we'll see on Saturday. But no, I mean, the whiteouts are legendary. I think it's a noon kickoff too. So I mean, obviously we were kind of we were hoping it would be a night game, but I don't know. I'm excited because I've heard so much about the environment there, but obviously I've never been there for a game.
I know all week we're talking about it. And I kept wanting to say College Station because it's State College, and I don't know, just get my stuff mixed up, and we're just coming from College Station. But State College, here we come. I'm excited for it. If you've got any tips and tricks and pointers along the way, we might hit a hockey game while we're there.
Mm-hmm.
The game, noon o'clock on Saturday, Eastern time. We love a good Eastern.
Yeah, we love
good Eastern kick, headed back to our roots in the Midwest.
Well, we gained an hour last week.
Well, we lose it right back.
We lose it right back, and we get it back on Sunday. So,
what a world! Time traveling, Phil of the future. Anyways, Pat, the CFP happened last night. Not a whole lot of shakeup. Some shakeup, as we saw with the Michigan State loss. They bumped down to 7, with your Wolverines still at 6. I know you probably have some thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly something. Gary Barta, this quote stuck out to me. It was discussed that Michigan might be the more complete team offensively, defensively. And last week, Michigan won. Michigan State lost. At the end of the day, we felt as a committee that Michigan was a better team. And then he clarified this week. Also said the debate lasted about a half an hour or even longer. So as a fan, I love it, but I don't know if that's necessarily fair, because obviously losing the head-to-head matchup, I don't know. I guess that Purdue loss is maybe worse than I had in my head.
Well, yeah, Purdue was unranked. Now they're ranked 19th, and Purdue, whatever, they've got 2 top 5 wins unranked. It's just interesting to see, considering, from the Ohio State perspective, that Purdue loss from Michigan State, I think, is a better loss than Oregon's loss to Stanford, yet they're still out of Ohio State.
Yeah, that's also a little confusing, but I don't know. I mean, obviously this is just a here and now type thing, but I mean, the Oklahoma ranking still, like, if one of their wide receivers, Jaden Hazelwood, I just randomly saw on the timeline today, he just tweeted, "I guess winning games doesn't matter, huh?" And I mean, I would feel the same way. Like, I know that their wins haven't been great and they've struggled, but they're still undefeated. So kind of weird there.
There's the upsets throughout. I mean, the hired team winning above the rankings pretty much everywhere else besides that Michigan State matchup. So not a whole lot of shakeup, but there's a whole other week of football and 2 more after that in the regular season, and obviously the championship weekend as well. There's still plenty of time for stuff to be jumbled up here, and we know something will happen. Oklahoma coming off a bye week. Will be interesting to how they play against Baylor at Baylor. Baylor come off that loss against TCU without their guy Gary P. But yeah, I mean, like I said, not a whole lot of shakeup there. Not too much to digest besides the fact that they announced the games in between the Duke game, right before the Duke game at Madison Square Garden last night. They just love to draw that thing out. I'm sitting there like, come on, man. I just want to post this graphic and carry on with my night, and they're sitting there just whatever. Just tell us. They can't be that. I mean,
just the last drop them all at once.
The last one you can draw it out, but the last one I do it like noon on Sunday, so it's not even a big deal. But there you go. CFP. A little bit of shakeup, not too much shakeup. Obviously, none of these mean anything until you get to the last week. Georgia's still number 1. Nothing's changing there. So
yeah, one, I guess, pertaining to our trip, Penn State not being ranked is odd.
I think that's gonna fire them up a little bit, not being ranked at all.
I don't love that from a bulletin board.
Bulletin board, we talk about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, a couple interesting losses, but if what's his name? Sean Clifford wasn't hurt, I think they win one of those 2 games they lost. Not the Ohio State game, but the other ones. So the Illinois game, obviously not great, and then the Iowa game was a top 25 matchup at the time. So the Illinois game, I mean, that's a tough loss. But we saw Penn State week 1, and here we are seeing them again this week. So exciting stuff there, Pat.
Very exciting. I get very excited about this next segment. I'm sure you can hear from my voice. Preciate Ya's segment. We use your catchphrase that you use all the time. Let some people know that we appreciate them. My first one is not really. I know we talk about big time football a lot. This is slightly less big time. I'll try to pronounce this correctly. Washita Baptist versus Henderson State. Have you heard of this rivalry?
No, but it sounds like a rivalry nonetheless.
It's called the Battle of the Ravine. So these 2 campuses are across the street from each other in the small town of Arkadelphia. We're flying into Philadelphia, but this is in Arkadelphia.
Where's this at?
Arkansas.
Oh, I should have known by the Arkadelphia. Arkadelphia sounds like a TV show city.
It does. And speaking of pranks, there's been a lot of pranks in this rivalry. A aviation student in 1978 from Henderson State airdropped thousands of red painted marshmallows on to the Washitu. Man, that's hard to say. campus. Henderson State students usually have a massive bonfire, and Mike Huckabee, who went to Washi too, once snuck over and set fire to it the night before the pep rally. So classic.
So this airdrop's a way different airdrop than the airdrop that we're used to.
Yes. And
it's actually coming out of the air.
Yes. And their homecoming queen was once kidnapped by Henderson State students that she had been friends with during their days at Arkadelphia High School, which is the high school in Arkadelphia.
People forget about Arkadelphia High. You know any famous alumni from there?
I don't. This was cool, though. This was the thing that kind of made me decide to use it. So just before noon on Saturday, state troopers actually block traffic on Highway 67, and Henderson State will march across the street to play in front of a crowd that will likely exceed the total population of Arkadelphia.
Really? What is the total population?
I believe it's around 10,000, and they're saying the game usually has around 11,000. So impressive stuff. Battle of the Ravine can't make it this year, but Preciate Ya.
Battle of the Ravine. Daniel Hunter, 1980 NFL player with the San Diego Chargers and Denver Broncos from Arkadelphia.
Wow.
Trent Bryant, NFL player with the Washington Redskins and Kansas City Chiefs from Arkadelphia. Jerry Thomason, politician and lawyer, former member of the Arkansas House of Reps from Arkadelphia. Fitz Hill, football coach, university president, also from Arkadelphia. Yeah. Oh, and Logan McGear, co-founder of Snacklands.
Gus Malzahn went to Henderson State.
But is he from Arkadelphia?
He is not.
If you're not from Arkadelphia, I don't care. Arkadelphia. Enrollment 512 in 2018 to 2019. Yeah. Red, white, and blue are the colors. Their mascot, guess what their mascot is?
Hog?
Well, that might be a good guess. But no. The Arkadelphia Badgers.
Shout out Bucky.
Their feeder middle school is Gaza Middle School.
Wow.
Which is a great feeder middle school. I appreciate that middle school, and I also appreciate college hoops being back. Last night, college basketball came back. I don't believe anyone from Arkadelphia was in any starting lineups, but Coach K farewell tour has begun. This will be something that we do not monitor closely throughout the year, but will be a big deal everywhere he goes. Your guy, Chet Holmgren, I think he's like 7'11", for Gonzaga. Had 14 points, 13 boards, 6 assists, 7 blocks. First game at Gonzaga. Him and Drew Timme will be a force to be reckoned with down low. Monty Bates from Memphis, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 for 7 from 3. Paulo Banchero from Duke. I think that might be the best name. Yeah. I was watching that game and just hearing it over and over again. It is an excellent name. Him and Trevor Keels, both freshmen, combined for 47 points. He had 22. Trevor had the other 25 to make up the 47. And Ochai Agbaji from Kansas. I don't remember him from the Big 12 tournament. He balled out until he got kicked out because they got caught with COVID tracing. He had 29 points. I heard his name about 1 million times last night. I was sitting there making dinner, watching the game. Ochai Agbaji. That's something you hear a million times and you don't forget it. So, and Ohio State won on a buzzer beater versus Akron. So we'll take the buzzer beater. You're going to need to do a little bit better against people moving forward, but we'll take the buzzer beater. College hoops is back. I did the NBA is back a few weeks ago. This is, like I said, more of a reminder to let you know, set your calendars, turn on your notifications, your push notifications, cheer on whatever team you root for. But college hoops is back. We've got some probably time before we dive into this in depth, but this is more of a red flag to let you know you might be seeing some of it on your TV screen. And Coach K still has black hair, even though he's 90.
Yeah, I wonder if our guy Jake Piazza is going to do any more hard-hitting investigative reporting.
I wonder if he was at MSG last night.
Yeah, well, we can follow up about that. Speaking of following up, Anthony Richardson, I talked about him last set of Preciate Ya's, hurt himself doing a dance. He actually tweeted a video of the dance. I really Yeah, I'm watching it now. I don't really know if I can describe it.
It's like the pop. It's like the pop and twist.
Yeah, but I
ankle,
totally see how you could get hurt doing it. Like,
yeah, that guy looks like he got hurt doing it. That's not even him.
Yeah, like you cross the ankles and then like fall down.
You cross and pop.
Yeah.
So pop,
he said
and drop it.
He tweeted it with no caption. Then he followed up and he said, "For context, this is the dance." And somebody, I think the most like popular response was somebody saying, "And hopefully the last time you ever do it." And I just love that he owned it. And like I was saying last week, there have been some. It's been one of the weirdest college football seasons. I know, like 2007 when like South Florida was up there, and that people always talk about that being one of the craziest seasons. Like, I think from a rankings and off the field standpoint, with some of the things that have happened, I think this has potential to be even weirder. But Anthony Richardson, appreciate you owning it. Appreciate you.
Anthony Richardson, obviously, he's had an interesting year, but yeah, that dance move is interesting as well. I can see how he got hurt.
Don't do that when you're.
But I also believe that he's the guy that does the front or the back flips pregame.
Yeah.
So maybe you should just stay on your 2 feet.
It's good advice.
I don't know. I know they teach jump passes down there at Florida. Do you think that that dance move originated in Arkadelphia?
It may have. We can also follow up on that.
We need to go to Arkadelphia. That is on my to-do list. Bo Davis, D-line coach for Texas. Now, this is an interesting one. A video was leaked the other day of him using some colorful language on the team bus post-game. Texas lost their 4th straight to Iowa State this past weekend. I guess some players were laughing on the bus, and he was just ripping them apart. This is I'm not going to insert the soundbite on this one. I don't know. I might have to call my lawyer if I do that. But, yeah, basically demanding more from his players, saying that, this is not something to laugh about. This is a job. This is real life. He takes it serious, basically keeping his players in line. I saw a lot of different interesting feedback on this on social media, so feel free to watch it and have your own input. I mean, I don't know your thoughts on it, Pat. That being said, if you lose 4 games in a row, you might need a little motivation. I guess the Texas locker room is something that people have been covering all year, saying that there's no defined leader in that locker room, and the coaches are kind of enforcing it on them. And we talked to our guy Otis Reese at Ole Miss, said they're a player-led team. The coaches kind of are there to back them up. But I don't think that's the case at Texas. There's a lot of issues at Texas right now, and they need to get that figured out before they join the SEC, because Big 12 is one thing, but if you go over the SEC, as we talked about last week with Braden, I mean, every game, every week is a new challenge, and they need to get their stuff in order there. But Bo Davis, yeah, he let them have it. And I don't know, I think some people are surprised by this. I can't say I was necessarily surprised. I mean, I don't know Bo Davis personally by any means, but coaches let players have it all the time, and I think that the leaking of the video is an issue in itself. So it just shows how big of an issue it is in the locker room and stuff like that, where if the locker room's in order and whatever, I mean, people get reamed at all the time. If that's a surprise to you, then you probably don't know much about college sports or sports in general. But that being said, sometimes you need a little extra kick in the arse.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's experience is different, but some of my best coaches, when I look back on it, I think in the moment they may have said some things or done things where, when you're younger, you don't really understand it and you don't really appreciate it. And then looking back on it, I mean, I think from watching that, you can tell that he is super passionate.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not a game. It's his life.
Yes. I mean, people talk about all the time, like players coach, and like people want the players coach or players want the players coach. And I see both sides of the equation, because you look at it and it all comes back to Ohio State. But Urban was not much of a players coach, I wouldn't say. Granted, he was tight with some guys and whatever, but Coach Day is, right? And then KJ talked about that with us, saying that he knew the dances. Shout out Anthony Richardson. Shout out Arkadelphia. He knew the songs they were listening to and stuff like that, where, Urban was straight business, right? There's a billion styles of coaching, how you go about it. That being said, you got to get your message across somehow. if you're a parent and you're saddened by this, I don't know, soccer.
It's always an option.
It is. All right, Pat. Well, we've got our locks of the week. Let's take a quick break.
Yep.
We'll hop into our locks of the week, and we'll get you people on their way. We got to beat traffic.
Yeah.
That is the main thing. All right, we'll be right back.
No more pranks. I think we've used every lock pun we can so far. This is week 11.
No more monkey business, as they say at Texas.
Yes.
Let's get right into it.
Locks of the week. We always pick the game we're going to first. I'm taking Michigan.
Surprise.
Yeah. Need a big win. I know I said earlier Penn State's not ranked, but I mean I think they should be. Cade McNamara, I say it every week. He's a game manager. Doesn't really turn the ball over. He's got to keep that going. David Ojabo, 8 sacks and forced fumbles this season. I know Aiden Hutchinson is going to be a top 10 pick. I just saw Mel Kiper had him on his top 10 overall prospects, which is terrifying for me to lose both of them. So I hope that scouts don't show him too much love and he comes back again next year. He's from Scotland, by the way.
That's near Arkadelphia.
It is. So yeah, I think Michigan's pass rush is probably going to be the difference maker. Also, Blake Corum got injured last week. Harbaugh said he has a chance to play, which I have no idea what that actually means, but
there's a chance.
He and Hassan Haskins will step in and step up if he needs to. But yeah, like I think you were saying before we took a break, Jahan Dotson is a stud for Penn State. 9 receiving touchdowns on the year. They only have under 1,000 rushing yards this year, 958 rushing yards. Michigan's top 2 running backs of Corum and Haskins have almost 2,000 combined. So I think that with the pass rush and hopefully with the two-headed monster of Corum and Haskins, or just Haskins, I think that Michigan takes this one.
There you go. I went with the under here because I could never, in my right mind, pick Michigan to win a game. I think that Penn State very well can win this game. I think that the fuel from being disrespected when not being ranked, and especially seeing some of those teams that are ranked, Penn State, I think that they are deserving to be ranked, and I think they might be ranked after this weekend. Michigan obviously needs a win. I'm not rooting for it. I'm not rooting against it. I'm just saying they need it. Both QBs in this match have just been okay, in my opinion. Like you said, Michigan's known for running the ball. The Penn State defense is, their DBs are where it's at. So obviously not where you need to be on that end. But Penn State's covered 4 straight, 7 of the last 9 has been an under as well. So Harbaugh in big games, you can't trust him. You know that. I know that. Everybody knows that. It's honestly hilarious to me. That being said, I don't know. I'm just going to let it be. I'm taking the under 48.5 this weekend.
Texas A&M. We are big fans now. At Ole Miss, I'm taking Texas A&M minus 2.5. Was super impressed seeing them in person. I think I had to go back and watch the game recap because it was hard to catch everything with all the cheers and everything going on. But I was definitely impressed. Like I said last time, Zach Calzada popped the shoulder back in. Big football guy, big fan of him. And Isaiah Spiller is going to be a stud in the NFL because he's a stud right now. I think he could kind of take some of the pressure off of A&M's passing game. I'm not hopping off the Lane train, but I am an Aggie fan now. So yeah, I got to take the Aggies here.
This game scares me, but I wanted to get in on it.
Mm-hmm.
Texas A&M and Ole Miss. I'm taking over 53.5. If Ole Miss is going to win this game, they're going to need to score some points. If they're going to be in this, they're going to need to score some points. That Texas A&M defense, they're also they're legit. That's what we talked about. And Zach Calzada needs to get his stuff together. They didn't score an offensive touchdown last week. You can't bank on that 2 weeks in a row. Honestly, he hasn't been great since Bama, statistically wise. So he's going to need to get that thing going. A&M 3-0 on the spread the last 3 games. I don't know. I think that you give Rusty the whole day to tailgate in the Grove.
Sheesh.
And, yeah, that just sounds dangerous in itself. So I can't bet against Rusty. I can't bet against Cody and Texas A&M. I can't bet against anybody. So I just want to everyone wins. Everybody has fun. Over 53.5. Let's get some offense this weekend. Let's hit the over.
I like that pick. Arkansas at LSU. I'm taking LSU plus 2.5. Obviously, I took LSU last week. Bama was favored by 28.5 points. LSU only lost by 6. I think that's got to help their confidence. Tyrion David Smith coming off of a 104-yard rushing effort against Alabama. He's the one. He had the 287 yards earlier against Florida in that game. I'm hoping he'll be the difference here. Arkansas, I mean, I don't know. When we saw them against Auburn, I was not super impressed, and I think LSU still has the talent to finish the season strong, so I'm taking LSU.
College football is wild because, Auburn and that Auburn-Arkansas game was wild. Like you said, not impressed by Arkansas necessarily. Then Auburn just gets routed this past weekend by Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And what is life?
Well, the SEC, man, like
yeah,
Braden was saying, it's insane. I can't even imagine like playing some of these games back to back. It's just got to be nuts.
good for the body.
Yeah.
Georgia and Tennessee play this weekend. Georgia is the number 1 team in the country. They might as well be number 1 in everything. Georgia's line is just going to absolutely dominate Tennessee's. If you look at sacks given up this year, Tennessee has given up 32 sacks. Georgia has only given up 5. So that's, you just look at both sides of the line there for Georgia. They're doing their job. I think the sack battle is a big battle and it will have a lot of effect on this weekend's game. Obviously, Georgia's the favorite here. They've only given up 13 points. Is the most points they've given up all season is 13 points. I think they gave up 13 twice. That being said, it's going to be hard for Tennessee to score, and that's why I like the under here, 56.5. Georgia's going to obviously get their points. I think the last 2 games they have on the calendar, I don't know who they are, but I'm pretty sure they don't either. I don't think they're good. This is the last real test, mild test, if you will, for Georgia moving forward until the SEC championship. So it'll be interesting to see what this team looks like. Maybe see both quarterbacks. You'll definitely see both quarterbacks in the next 2 weeks, probably gearing up for Bama or A&M or Auburn or who knows? Who knows they're going to play? But, I like the under here, 56.5.
They got Charleston Southern next week, so.
Is that near Arkadelphia?
Might as well be.
Okay.
Purdue at Ohio State, I'm taking the over here, 61.5. I know you might have some
staying away from this game.
Yeah, you've had some issues with Purdue over the year, but C.J. Stroud and Trevion Henderson. I like your prediction that they're both going to end up in New York, and I think this is another opportunity for them to show out. I don't know if I said this on air last time or if it was off air to you, but I don't think that Purdue prepares for teams ranked higher than number 3. So I guess we'll find out here. They may just go into this one and not do any prep because they tend to only show up for those number 1, number 2, and number 3 games.
Yeah.
Purdue is going to have some tricks up their sleeves. If I had to take a guess, they've been getting pretty creative on offense, and they've got
my little brother, Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, they've got him. David
last
Bell.
time Purdue, they beat Iowa 24-7, and then they lost by 17 the week after to Wisconsin. So I'm hoping that they can really only lock in 1 week in a row. That being said, I'm staying way away from this game.
Yeah, makes sense. My guy David Bell is having a great year, touchdown machine. I hope he comes to play. But yes, taking the over here. I just think that Ohio State's offense is going to be wheeling and dealing. That's my hope.
That's my hope as well, Pat. I sure hope so. Yes, I'm staying away from this game. Miami and Florida State play this weekend. Truly a huge game. Everyone has circled on their calendar. Miami is a 2.5-point favorite going to Tallahassee. I'm rolling with the U this weekend. I think 2.5 points. If they're going to win, it's going to be by a field goal. Last time I said that, I lost. But Van Dyke's taken over at quarterback down there at Miami, and he's been balling. He's won 3 of 4 straight up against the cover the past 4 weeks. And, I just think that Miami's trending in the right direction. Florida State is trending in the wrong direction. I'm pretty sure that they need to win out to even make a bowl game. So maybe there's a little bit of extra motivation there. It's going to be a close game, hence the 2.5 points. But I'm taking Miami to cover this.
Yeah, I'm going to choose this game too. I'm taking the under. I guess Miami's lost to Michigan State like earlier in the year. I thought that was a horrible loss, but looking at it now, it doesn't seem so bad. Obviously, Florida State. That Jacksonville State loss was one of the worst, if not the worst, losses I've seen this year. De'Aaron King, his college career is likely over now. Van Dyke has thrown 10 touchdowns and 1 interception in the last 3 games.
Those are good numbers.
I believe he's from Connecticut, which I'm not sure if that's close to Arkadelphia. But
no, it's not. Come on.
I just have a hard time thinking this is going to be a high scoring affair, and I think like both of their seasons, it's going to be an offensive disappointment. So I'm taking the under.
There you go. That might have been a smarter move than.
Your Georgia pick. I can't believe I didn't pick that game because I'm locking that one in for you right now. That's gonna hit.
That's not what I want. A Pat lock on top of a Jack lock.
Yeah.
It's almost like Tennessee's gonna ball out this weekend. Wow, I might need to change that pick.
It's already locked in.
My last pick, Oklahoma at Baylor this weekend. Oklahoma, coming off the bye week, they are on a mission, and if they're not, they better be, to show why they do not deserve to be that 8 seed in the CFP. They didn't move at all this weekend. Obviously, a big convincing win here against a top 15 Baylor team would hopefully move them up a little bit, maybe ahead of a Michigan after they lose this weekend, and a Michigan State team that barely beat them. So we'll see. Baylor, Iowa State, Oklahoma State is the last 3 games that Oklahoma has on their calendar. So it's getting tough. And then obviously they're going to have to play one of those teams again in the Big 12 title game, because the Big 12, everyone plays each other, and then they play each other again in the title. So going to be a tough end of the season for them. But, I think our guy is well rested, and he's going to come out with a fresh paint of nails and be ready to roll.
I saw he was at the basketball game. I saw a tweet, and he still had the horns down, but it was like he had
chipped off.
It didn't have what it had before. It's like he still had the horns, but it was like different lettering or whatever. So
what did it say?
I don't even know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think keep an eye on Oklahoma. They need to do some stuff this weekend in order to move up there in the polls, which is obviously the end goal. And the CFP talk, it will be interesting after this weekend. Obviously with some big matchups, and Oklahoma back on the pitch. So there you go, Pat. Anything else to add?
No, I'm excited to potentially catch a hockey game this weekend.
I don't even know the last time I've been to a hockey game.
It's been a while for me, but after last week, going on Friday, we had to kind of fit everything in within 2 days. We're back to doing Thursday trips, so that will be fun. And excited to check out Penn State, and hoping to see a first time seeing Michigan play in person this year. So first time seeing them in really like 2 years, I guess, because of COVID. So
fun fact, I've never been to a Michigan game that they've won.
Wow. Well, get excited for your first one.
We are still eligible. Make sure to follow us on social media. Check out this video so you can see the Harbaugh sweatshirt on YouTube. Like, subscribe, give us a review. Tell your friends. Tell your mother.
Tell their friends.
Tell their friends. And tell Arkadelphia we said what's up.
Actually, I think we're going to beat traffic, so I'm no longer as mad as I was before.
Hey, it's Jack. Appreciate you listening to today's podcast. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music. Make sure to follow us on social media @StillEligible. We'll see you next time.